With Night of Champions now in the history books, and after surviving this past weekend of some good old wrestling, I probably have to say that Night of Champions was pretty good, with NXT Battleground giving it a run for its money, while AEW Double or Nothing was pretty solid to mid, depending on who you ask. Now, I could be speaking for myself, but those two WWE shows are worth checking out if you haven't done so already. And as far as AEW is concerned, the Battle Royal and the second half of the pay-per-view are worth your time to check out as well. Now, before you yell at me, don't yell at me. The first half felt more like a glorified AEW Dynamite than pay-per-view. In my opinion, it could have been brought down to fatigue with wrestling, you know, the whole nine. I was watching literally every single event that went down that exact same weekend, so don't shoot the messenger, just saying. But if you do check out the pay-per-view, check out the second half and not the first. But that's just me. Anyway, but one of the biggest takeaways from Night of Champions, besides the fact that the bloodline is essentially all but over following Jimmy Uso's choice to attack the tribal chief, we have a new world heavyweight champion in the form of the revolutionary, the visionary, the man who would take the Met Gala by storm if they ever give him an invite, Seth Freakin Rollins. And after seeing the nice reception for the Punk Omega video 2 weeks ago, why not do it again? So today I am stepping back into the world of ChatGPT, where I will ask them to pitch me 2 potential first title feuds for Seth Rollins' first reign as World Heavyweight Champion. The first writing style I'm thinking of doing for this one is a nod to a show I just started getting into, a show that just wrapped its final season over on HBO, and that's Jesse Armstrong's Succession. And for the uninitiated, it's a show that follows the Roy family, the owners of a media conglomerate where the 4 kids attempt to succeed their father in running or owning the company. It can be about the McMahon family as far as I've heard on social media. I just started on it this week, but that pilot got me hooked. So let's switch over to ChatGPT and see if they can come up with something like that, hopefully. Seth Rollins just successfully defeated AJ Styles at WWE Night of Champions to become the inaugural World Heavyweight Champion. Following this victory, Seth is in need of some serious competition for the upcoming WWE Money in the Bank event at the O2 Arena in London, England. In the writing style of Jesse Armstrong's Succession, pitch a detailed story for Seth's first title defense against Damian Priest. Seth Rollins, the newly crowned inaugural World Heavyweight Champion, sits at the head of the table. The room is filled with WWE executives and creative team members, all eagerly awaiting Seth's decision on his first title defense. Seth's confident demeanor fills the room, reminiscent of a young lion ready to conquer the world.
All right, listen up, you bunch of nitwits. I've been thinking long and hard about who I should face at Money in the Bank. It needs to be someone who can bring out the best in me, someone who can match my intensity, and someone who's a real threat. Any suggestions?
Various executives and creative members exchange glances, hesitant to speak up. Finally, one executive, John, musters the courage to voice his opinion.
What about Damian Priest? He's been making waves lately, and his intensity in the ring is unmatched. It could be a great match.
Seth raises an eyebrow, intrigued by the suggestion.
Priest, huh? I've seen a bit of him, and I must admit the guy's got potential, but I need more than potential. I need someone who can make me earn every bit of this championship. I want him tested, scrutinized, and pushed to his limits. I want him to make me look like $1 million.
Seth's passion and determination are evident in his voice, commanding the attention of everyone in the room.
I want a story, a narrative that captivates the audience and makes them question who the real king of this industry is. I want this match to be talked about for years to come. I want Damian Priest to bring everything he's got and leave a lasting impression. So let's brainstorm.
The room erupts with energy as ideas start flowing. Seth listens intently, occasionally injecting with his thoughts. Damian Priest trains intensely, showcasing his incredible athleticism and raw power. Meanwhile, Seth Rollins watches from a distance, studying Priest's every move. Back in the present, Seth smiles, feeling the pieces of the puzzle coming together.
That's it. We'll build up the match by showcasing Priest's journey, his rise through the ranks. We'll give him a series of matches against formidable opponents, each one pushing him to his limits. And in the end, he'll face me, the World Heavyweight Champion, in a match that will define his legacy.
The room erupts with excitement as the creative team starts discussing potential storylines and ways to build anticipation for the match. Seth takes charge, his charisma shining through.
We'll have Priest battle through obstacles, face adversity, and doubt himself. But he'll keep pushing forward, showing the world what he's truly made of. And when he finally stands across the ring from me, the World Heavyweight Championship on the line, it'll be a clash of titans, the culmination of his journey, his chance to prove himself and test me like no one else has.
The room is buzzing with excitement and renewed motivation. Seth's vision has sparked a fire within each person present.
Get to work, people. Let's make this match the talk of the industry. The world will remember Damian Priest's name after Money in the Bank.
Everyone jumps into action, grabbing notebooks, discussing ideas, and preparing for the challenge ahead. The room becomes a hive of creativity, each person determined to create a masterpiece. All right, so after listening back and rereading that pitch, I sort of don't like it all that much. Now, hear me out. The reason why I say I don't like it as much is because I don't see them booking this current version of Damian Priest like that, where he's basically has to prove himself and he has to come up. That match against Bad Bunny at Backlash in Puerto Rico made Damian Priest in my book. For Seth Rollins' first official world title feud, I can see them putting it against Damian Priest, but not like how ChatGPT pitched. And the only reason why I say that is because I don't see them not involving Judgment Day and Finn Balor hyping him up, Rhea Ripley, the Judgment Day runs Monday Night Raw, and Dominic being Dominic. I don't see that happening whatsoever. And especially if we go off what went down this past Monday on Raw, I would not be against Damian Priest being his first official challenger and utilizing this as a way to bump Damian to that next echelon as far as being in the main event scene on Raw in WWE. Now let's head back over to ChatGPT and keep the same message, but this time the opponent will be Finn Balor. And instead of Secession, let's see them pitch us a story in the writing style of Stephen King. In the eerie atmosphere of the O2 Arena, Seth Rollins, the inaugural World Heavyweight Champion, stands at the precipice of greatness. His victory over AJ Styles at WWE Night of Champions has secured his place atop the WWE throne. However, as the night darkens and the winds of destiny begin to stir, Seth's first title defense against Finn Balor is about to unveil a nightmarish tale of redemption and the price of ambition. Seth Rollins awakens from a restless sleep, haunted by visions of his own ascent to power. His mind, already consumed by the burden of being the champion, now questions the legitimacy of his success. Amidst his doubt, he discovers an old diary belonging to a long-deceased wrestler buried beneath the arena's labyrinthine corridors. The diary speaks of a forbidden pact, forged in blood, that can bring forth an unstoppable force, the Demon King, Finn Balor. As Seth delves deeper into the diary, the arena itself seems to shudder with an unseen presence. Whispers of the past echo through the halls, and the shadows stretch and dance in unnatural ways. Finn Balor's name reverberates through the corridors like a cursed incantation, and Seth feels an unsettling presence watching him from the darkness. Paranoia gnaws at his sanity as he prepares for his fateful encounter. At twilight, the stage is set for Seth's title defense. The O2 Arena, transformed by an otherworldly energy, becomes a theater of nightmares. The crowd senses the impending clash of two forces beyond comprehension. As Seth steps into the ring, a palpable tension grips the audience, a whisper, an expectation that something supernatural is about to unfold. As the match commences, the aura of the arena warps, blurring the boundaries of reality. Seth, determined to silence his own doubts, faces Finn Balor in an epic clash. Finn, now consumed by the spirit of the Demon King, embodies a malevolent power that defies human comprehension. The audience, spellbound and terrorized, watches as Seth battles not only for his title, but for his very soul. In a battle that defies the physical realm, Seth and Finn unleash an onslaught of acrobatic moves, grappling with a supernatural strength. The boundaries between good and evil blur as Seth finds himself fighting against a force that transcends mortal limits. With each blow delivered, Seth's humanity fades, replaced by a darkness that mirrors Finn's demonic power. As the final moments of the match approach, Seth, on the brink of losing himself entirely, discovers a glimmer of light within the abyss. It is the memory of his journey, the battles fought and won, and the friendships forged. With one final surge of resilience, Seth taps into his inner strength, harnessing the energy of the arena and his loyal fans, who unite as a beacon of hope. With an awe-inspiring display of resilience, Seth rises from the depths of despair to deliver a climactic blow that sends Finn Balor crashing to the canvas. The Demon King's power dissipates, leaving Finn stunned and vulnerable. Seth, clinging to his fading humanity, delivers one last defiant act, cementing his legacy as the World Heavyweight Champion. The O2 Arena, now returned to its mundane state, bears the memories of the supernatural battle that unfolded within its walls. Seth Rollins, battered but triumphant, stands in the center of the ring, the weight of his victory balanced by the realization of the darkness he once flirted with. As he gazes into the distance, he understands that his journey as champion has just begun, and that his greatest battles may not be against external forces, but the internal struggles of his own ambition. So after reading both pitches, if I had to flip a coin between the two and I had to see which one that I would actually want to watch as a wrestling fan, I have to go with pitch number 2. Now, the reason why I say that is because the supernatural genre, something about that genre awakens the young teen in me that grew up on the likes of all these supernatural shows on the CW and ABC and NBC and all this stuff that we got in the early 2000s to the middle 2000s. So I can understand my, I guess you can say, my pull or my enthusiasm towards that. That's why I like the likes of Bray Wyatt and the Demon King. I like that they use the Demon King in a way that I feel like it kind of adds depth to that character and not just having Finn Balor wear face paint just to say he's a demon. Like, they actually gave him some depth and some character work, and they had him playing mind games with Seth Rollins. Now, on the other side, I wouldn't want to go 100% like that with the Finn Balor Demon King thing. And the reason why I say that is because one of my gripes with the current version of Bray Wyatt right now is it doesn't feel like it's a grounded character. It feels like they're just trying to utilize his name and his aura of him returning to WWE to, like, okay, here's a new character. It's not the Fiend, but it is the Fiend. It's not, here's Uncle Howdy, here's not Uncle Howdy. Is Uncle Howdy with Bray? Is he not with Bray? Like, they don't have a direction for it. It feels like it's all over the place. And now with him currently injured, you don't really know what they was going to go with that. But also, I feel like if they were to give the Demon King more depth with his character, then having a possibility of a potential feud against this version of Seth Rollins versus this version that they pitched, Demon King, the Shadow of Legacy version of Demon King, I'm just saying you can shape an entire pay-per-view around it. And I would not bat a single eye, because I'm all for the shenanigans. I watch wrestling like I watch everything else, full of weed. But nevertheless, pick your favorite pitch and let me know in the comment section why you picked this pitch, and let's have a chat about it. Like, which one would you go with? Would you go with pitch number 1, or would you go with pitch number 2? But I do know who's not number 2, and that's you. Oh my fucking God, that's so corny. But if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more AI generated stories like this one, make sure you smash that subscribe button, all while you're following me on social media and checking out this video right here where I showed you how I thought WWE should have booked WWE Night of Champions 2023, which I kind of didn't get wrong in the predictions department. Y'all be breezy. Buried beneath the arena's Leviathan, what the fuck? Leviathan corridors. Who talks like this?
On the beast. Eat, sleep, flex, and repeat. Whole new swag with a price on the tag. Coming live from the west to the east. Better recognize on the mouthpiece. See the power level gotta increase. Bringing content on a daily. Feeling like Gresh unleashed.